Hi everyone, Frankie here, New West Reset. Hello, how's it going? Thank you very much for shooting in and joining a fellow here for another one. I'm standing in the shade because it's hotter than Satan's taint today. Here we are in Inglewood for the meetup, and I'm just in front of that old building that I gave you a sneak peek at here a couple of weeks ago. And we're on 9th Avenue Southeast, formerly Atlantic Avenue, on the corner of 8th Street and 9th Avenue Southeast here in Inglewood. So the Dean House is right there. Fort Calgary's just on the other side of that bridge. But we're going to be heading down this way, eastbound on 9th Avenue Southeast. And we're going to check out a couple of old world buildings here on this side, and then we're going to run and check out that old school and lots of other stuff. So thank you for joining me here. Got some folks here with me today. And yeah, stick around. Be right back.
About a heaven in Alberta, where they've got all hell for a basement.
All right, so here we are, stop number 1 here. This beautiful old bricker. It's now an apothecary shop, but it used to be a bike shop initially, if I remember correctly. Prior to that, who knows what it was, but just some nice detail there with the brickwork. Big windows, big beautiful arched window here. Nice big huge entranceway with arch above it. The funny thing is, to get into this thing, when you walk in, you go up a little step or two, but then when you get into the building, you actually got to go up. Like you have no choice. You walk in and you got to go up. So that's straight. Why not just walk straight in? And then, so with that floor level being that high, what's underneath there? Because there's no stairs in this entrance going down. So I don't know if there's access to the lower level of this building from inside and the main floor, or from outside at the back of the building, like they've built a shack in the back or something. Not too sure. But you can see here that there's schmutz here in this transition between the brick and this fake foundation that juts out about, I don't know, a quarter of an inch or so. So they've just smeared this with schmutz over the brick and painted it to look like the load-bearing foundation. But I would suspect that at one point underneath here there was probably low windows here, and that's why the gas meter's here, and they have these planter boxes in front.
Looks to me like this square window used to be this size. Looks like it's...
Yeah, it looks like they've patched something in here and added a rectangular window. But the patchwork goes all the way down. So maybe this used to be a loading dock door or something.
Or just the same as this one.
Or maybe this was a door to go to the upper level.
Oh, I see what
and
you're
this was, or you know what I mean, to the second floor or something. I don't know.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It goes all the way.
Because
it goes lower than
yeah, it goes lower than this one. That's Cousin Vinny, by the way, that you're hearing there. If you want to give a wave, there he is. Let's whip around the side of this thing. Oh, the other thing I'm noticing too is just this little brick. They're like little plus signs or crosses there too. And then the top windows are arched as well. Just whip around. Oh yeah, I'm seeing... First of all, I'm seeing a beautiful, glorious Canadian Pacific train going by right there. Fantastic. But yeah, see, there was something here that they patched in. So this does have a lower level. There were windows here at one point that they smeared it over and bricked some of it in. One there, one here. It's even a different brick here. I think that's a different brick too. Here they've just put some plywood over it. It's quality workmanship right there. Nice arched windows here, right up high. And oh yeah, there we go. Ridge Bicycle. Since 1869, eh? That's funny because apparently, according to the official story for Inglewood, we're told that it started in 1875, just after Fort Calgary was built. And by 1911, it was annexed by the city of Calgary. But it's the oldest neighborhood in the city. It was sort of its own separate little municipality on this side of the river, the fort being on the other side. But the fort and the railroad coming in really helped to develop this whole area. A lot of people that worked for the railroad ended up moving into this area, opening businesses. Businesses started opening here to accommodate all of that as well. So we've got a combination of new, which isn't bad because there's the architectural restrictions. They got to sort of try to fit in some of the building materials to match some of the old world stuff. So they use a lot of brick and sandstone here as well. But yeah, this thing's really cool. So I don't know. I mean, it's 1869, but they say this neighborhood started in 1875. So this building was here before everybody else was here. Beat them by 6 years. I don't know if we can get around to the back of this thing, but I'm going to pause it here for a second and see if I can real quick. I'm not going to spend an exorbitant amount of time on each building because we've got dozens to look at here today. So let me just pause it here for a second, hang tough, and I'll see if I can get around to the back. I'll be right back. All right, so just quickly come around to the back side of this thing, and she's in good shape. They bashed in a big, huge door there. You can see they didn't even replace it with brick. They replaced it with cinder block after they bashed in that big modern door. But we've got some original arches there and there, one being a door, one being a window. I'm wondering if that door at one time maybe used to be a window. Well, I don't know. It's lower. The top of it's lower than the top of that window, so maybe it was always a door. So I still don't know how you get into the basement of this thing. You got to go through this door, or is there a way to get into the lower floor once you come inside from the front door we looked at? I don't know. But you got to go up this hanky thing to get up there. And this other building is a cinder block building. It's built right up against it, so we can't get in between them to check out that other side, but that's pretty well looked after. You know, they've painted it, unfortunately, but I've said it before, I said it a million times, I'll say it again. At least they didn't knock it down, you know. Anyway, we're going to keep moving along here. Another shot of the train, and we're going to keep heading eastbound on 9th Avenue. All right. Look at this glorious thing. Look at it. Just look at it, will you? Beautiful. Sandstone School. Very typical for what we see here in Calgary for the old world buildings that are made of sandstone and been designated as schools or redesignated as schools. Big, massive sandstone blocks, big, huge windows. Lots of different levels to the ground, though. Some of it's shooting down over there. Some of it's shooting down over here. I've noticed something hanky with the sandstone foundation stones right by that door, so I want to check that out. You can see they've filled in some of these low windows with ventilation. I think this is the old Inglewood School. It's now called the Alexandra Center. But yeah, here you go. So you can see here that sandstone and how easily that just erodes over time.
I mean, even if it wasn't worn, it's not all the same size. It never was. So that's a patch, right? It's not the same as the...
It's not, the stones aren't as uniform.
Yeah.
Now, is it a patch or is it just rough construction because they knew, okay, this is going to be the foundation. It doesn't have to be as fancy and uniform as these blocks.
Maybe
because
these used to be all the way.
But maybe these, yeah, maybe these used to be as large as these ones. This one they've just punched a door in where I'm guessing it was the fourth out of these row of windows here, just like there's 4 here and 4 above. So I'm guessing this was a window. They punched a door in there. So yeah, maybe as they found this building and started excavating it, these were damaged below ground level windows that they've just patched in with these stones. Because sandstone, you can't swing a dead cat in Calgary without finding sandstone. It's easy to get. So it'd be easy to just bash them up and kind of block all that in.
It's definitely not the same quality work.
No, they weren't as fussy with the sizes and everything, were they? It's all just kind of higgledy-piggledy, if that's a thing. Here they've even put some concrete over this to try to slow it down, and we see that a lot too, right? rain and wind and snow and ice gets in there, and so they smear something over it to try to slow that down. It helps a bit, but not much. But yeah, the ground is very slopey here, up and down. Let's go around to the side here. I'm right on the, this is basically on the corner of 9th Avenue and 9th Street Southeast there. Well, there it is right there, 922 9th Street Southeast. So that looks to me like they've knocked in a modern door there too. What's we got here? No arches on these windows, they're all rectangular. A bunch of low ones here too. Some more damage or patchwork under that windowsill, sandstone there. This one's almost completely worn away. Another door that they've punched in over here. You can see here where they've done some kind of repair or something as well. Again, directly under a window, like Cousin Vinny pointed out at the other side of the building. That first side we were looking at, by the way, is the east-facing side. We're now the north-facing side of the building. Whip around to the west side here. West, west, yo! Anyway, yeah, they've had to do some repairs down along here. I mean, it's still a functioning education center. There's daycare or childcare in here. It's a educational developmental center. So, I mean, it's still being used today. So it's kept in good shape. They've got modern additions onto the front of it. Add more classrooms and whatnot. It's on a pretty big piece of property, so there's a huge playground here and all of that fun stuff. Really beautiful sandstone though. It's just too bad it's so susceptible to the elements and whatnot. You can see these to me, this is the full stone here. This isn't those, 2-inch thick applique or facade thick tile stones, right? Or stone tiles, excuse me. So that leads me to believe that this thing is built out of sandstone and not brick with, just this sandstone stuff glued on top of it or what have you. This thing's been here a long time. Anyway, there's a beautiful old brick house with a conical dome turret thingy on it just beyond these trees here I want to have a look at. So that's going to be the next stop. Alright, still on 9th Street Southeast here. Some beautiful homes here, 3 in a row that are really nice. Beautiful places, really well looked after. But look at that beauty right there. Actually, the one next to it too has got a little dome on it. But the one next to it is part of a seniors complex, and that I think was built in the 80s. So they've emulated the old world with the roof on that, with the little techie thing on top. But that one there is old world. Completely different. The Suter home, by the way. Completely different build style, completely different building materials, brick, sandstone. Look at the roof on that thing. All those complicated angles and all those windows in that turret and then that conical dome. It's got some of the ether fencing on top there still. And I'm like, all along here, there's a whole row of these beautiful Victorian era and Edwardian era homes. That thing's a beauty. I'm going to run across the street and have a look at it. Let's see what that sign says. Suter House, 8th Avenue Southeast, Calgary General Surgical Associates. Ah. Whatever that means. Oh, there's a plaque on it too, though. Great. Excellent. Beautiful columns or pillars there with some nice detail with the capitals. I'm assuming those are wooden columns or pillars. Sandstone above and below the windows, but they've painted that sandstone with something. It's too gray to be the natural sandstone color, so they've probably painted it in use some kind of sealer on it. Again, to slow down the erosion. So I'm just going to hold it here for you if you want to pause it. Give a quick read. Beautiful place. Nice wraparound veranda style balcony. It's all curved too. You know, to follow the lines of the house. Really, really nice. There's a business in here, but it's closed on a Sunday, I'm assuming. Oh, wow, look at that. See above there? That's sandstone. There too, but you can see they've painted it and sealed it. Oh man, there's a wasp nest up there. I'm getting out of here. I'm not in the mood to get stung today. But yeah, this is a seniors complex, more modern construction there. They did a pretty good job matching her up with this beauty. Get you in there a bit. Yeah, a real beauty. And also in excellent condition. All right, moving on. We'll see what's what coming up next. All right, so here we are at the Hose and Hound pub. We're gonna go in there and have a beer. Nope, actually it's an old fire hall. It's the old fire station number 3. We've looked at number 1 and number 2 and I think number 4 here on the channel already. So there's number 3 there for you. You can see they've added windows into the big, huge arch entranceways. That's where the horse-drawn fire engine wagons would get pulled in and out there, you see, apparently. No watchtower on this one, so I don't know if there ever was, or if there was and it was knocked off at some point. I'm seeing some sandstone detail there, the keystone there, and some little details, but not much else. The window sills in the bottom there look to me like brick instead of sandstone, at least on the front facade of this place. Anyway, some folks out here having some beverages and some noshings, some snackaroos. So okay, here's another perfect example of what I call that fake or phony foundation. So this looks like the load-bearing concrete foundation that they poured and then stacked the bricks on top, but it doesn't continue around the side of the building. So they just smeared schmutz over the brick. I've talked about this 1,000,001 times to make it look like the foundation. Arched windows here. So here they have sandstone. So I don't know if this is a modern repair or what. They've got it up there too. Again, the sandstone, the arch there above the windows. This thing has got a bunch of different levels. I was going to say, well, there's the actual real foundation down there, but then it disappears over here. So, I don't know. This is an addition, it looks to me like. You can see the transition line, and now this is the actual real. Oh, no, it's not. Fooled again. Look at, there's the brick. And there's the schmutz coming off. You see? There you go. Fake foundation. Punched in a modern door there. And one lonely arched window here. And it's Buddy there. Sorry for the glare. Wow, it's really super bright and beautiful today. Creeping up on 30 degrees Celsius here for today. That's around mid-90s Fahrenheit. Hotter than Satan's taint. But couldn't ask for a nicer day. Big, beautiful blue skies. A little bit of a breeze. So it's not too hot on a guy. It's not beating down on the back of my neck so much, you know. And you can see more brick peeking out under there. And I think I saw some more between these two very nice pickup trucks. Alberta's pickup truck country, don't you know? And there it is again too. So the schmutz all breaking away, and there's the old brick underneath. And that brick just shoots right down into the ground there. It's just shooting right down. Huh, very good. All right, moving on. Just wanted to give you a nice little shot there too of that architectural detail up there along the ridge line. Probably tin or something, right? Vinny, what do you think?
Yeah, probably. It looks metal.
It looks like it's metal. It looks like some of the paint's starting to peel off there a little bit, maybe.
Black part is metal.
Yeah. All right. Still lots more to see. We're going to be hitting pretty much the main drag here now. Is going to be lots to look at, and then we'll take a couple of more side streets. Actually, we're going to look at the old National Hotel first, and then we'll hit the main drag. Yeah, that's it. All right. Stick around, back in a second. All right, so what's next on the agenda here? Well, hold your horses now. I got you here. This is the old National Hotel. I was looking for a plaque on it, and I didn't see one, but I think this was supposedly built around 1904-ish, 1905, something like that. It's been beautifully renovated. There's a restaurant on the main floor called The Nash. Real creative. We're super creative up here. But lovely detail on this thing along the top there. You can see with that sort of dog's tooth design, and then the arch windows with that contrasting colored brick, that really vibrant deep red brick compared to the original faded brick, which leads me to believe that this thing's been here for a really, really long time. That brick is almost turned peachy or yellow almost from the UV rays of the sun. When they renovated it, you know, they did some repair work using that newer brick, which gives you a nice contrast there between the old and the new. Awesome. One of my favorites is, you know, entrance right there on the corner of the building. But I mean, there's multiple entrances on the ground floor of this thing. I love this old thing, and this thing was really run down. It was another building that I was a little bit afraid, because I used to live about 4 blocks from here, and I was afraid that they were going to knock it down. But then a bunch of private investors and the, I don't know, the heritage building community here in Calgary all rallied around it and raised some funds to be able to renovate it and save it. And now some businesses have moved in. I think around 2014 is actually when they finished renovating it and businesses started coming into it. And this is just off the main drag. I'm on 10th Avenue Southeast here, just off of 9th Avenue. So you can see they've carried that same detail with the arches all the way along. So you got to go up a couple of steps to get in. Some nice mosaic tiling in there. Kind of a stumpy entrance. Some windows above it there. Now this, if you didn't think this was cool enough, back in the day, if you were a rootin' tootin' shoot 'em up Wild West cowboy or whatnot, and you rode into town for whatever reason, there used to be a building over here that was actually an auction house that was built in the teens. A cattle, a horse auction, mostly cattle though. So if you were coming in here as a cowboy or off the ranch, right, to buy or sell cattle from the cattle auction, well, you would just stay in this here hotel. But you would board your horse in the stables here. You got a livery, I think. But there was a feed house, a livery, and a stable here. So you'd board your horse there in the stable, and they could shoe your horse for you and take care of it and water it and feed it and all that while you stayed in the hotel and went to the old cattle auction. Fantastic old hotel, the old National. Now the Nash. That, by the way, is not Old World. It's a copycat. Built in 2003, I believe. They did a nice job on it, though. All right, now we're going to hit the main drag. back on 9th Avenue, we're going to have a look at some of these beauties that you see peeking out over here. All right, so here we are right on the main thoroughfare in Inglewood here, 9th Avenue, excuse me, 9th Avenue Southeast. The High Street here in Inglewood. Ah, great big bus about to go by. Great. Alright, just get it going there, will you? Alright, look at this beauty. The Beefus Block? Beefus Block? B-E-F-U-S. Terrible name for a building. But it's a beauty. Supposedly built in 1910. Well, you can see because it says so right there. Got some little ether balls there or something. Beautiful arched windows with the sandstone keystone over top. Some modern renovations there on the main floors. You can see a couple of businesses there. Looks like there's a door open because they're doing some work there. And looks like stairs going right up. So we're going to have a look at that later on, I think. When we come back down this way shooting the other side, we'll be able to have a look in there.
Without Papers Pizza. That's a great name.
What's that?
Without Papers? Is that what it says? No.
Without Papers Pizza. Yeah, it looks like that's what it said. They removed a sign there that said Without Papers Pizza. Not sure what that means, but
If you spell out without papers, you get a word for Italian.
maybe. I don't.
That's where it comes from.
So look at this next one here. Some beautiful detail around the windows on that one too.
It's kind of prefab.
I think that top is just modern crap. I mean, it's been, again, brutalized quite a bit, but it's an old building. It's got some brick down in the lower portion here that they've painted over, but added a nice facade brick to it. Okay, we're going to keep moving along here. All right, about half a block further down now. We're just coming up on 11th Street Southeast, I believe. We're looking at the old CIBC, the old Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. Right next to it, this little vintage clothing shop. They've painted the brick, but for some reason they either ran out of paint or got lazy up along the top there. And you can see there's some sort of different brickwork along the top there that they've done. And some lovely detail. Wow, it's loud. Anyway, lovely detail along here with the coining of the brickwork down the sides of the building, all the embellishments. That is not sandstone. That to me looks like some kind of granite. And then the beautiful facade stone here on the front of this thing, but down the side, or facade brick I should say, but down the side you can see the older, again almost peachy yellowish colored original old brick on the side of this thing.
Ready for a lightning strike.
A lightning strike, or put a flag on her or something, I guess. I don't know. It does actually have the attachments for the flag on it, I can see. So I guess that is a legit flagpole. Sure, okay. All right, gonna move along here. I'm gonna get behind some of these if I can as well. So if I can get into the back alleys and it's not fenced off or anything like that, I'm gonna do that as well, like I've already done with some of these here today. I'll try to get as much as I can. But let me know in the comments down below there if there's a building that you really would like me to come back to and have a really good look at. Let me know in the comments and I'll come back and try to do a loop-de-loo around the thing or get inside it or something. But anyway, we're gonna keep heading on down the road. All right, so we've just moved east of 12th Street Southeast, still on the High Street, 9th Avenue here, Southeast in Inglewood. Checking out the Ble Block, another terrible name for a beautiful old building. And again, seeing some of that detail along the roof line there, that sort of sawtooth or dog's tooth. And sandstone galore under the windows there. You can see. Right under there, and under there, and then those recessed entranceways. Transom windows above the windows and doors there. And then right next to it, the Dougal Block is another really nice old looking place. Some rough hewn sandstone under the windows there. Just gorgeous old brick and sandstone galore here.
Not here.
This one here, I think I can get around the sides and the back, so I'm going to try and do that here right now. I might even be able to get behind both of these. So yeah, hang tough. Let me just whip across here and I'll be right back. Alright, so here we are, just run across the street. Just checking out this building. It used to be the boys something or other. I can't read what that old sign used to say. But let's see, a couple of really small little arched windows back here that they've since boxed in to put standard rectangular windows in. Looks like some patchwork or repair work done there in the front. Looks like they sandblasted the heck out of it to remove some of that old signage, the painted signage, you know. Let's see what we can see here up close. A little breezy here today, so you may hear some wind gusts. I'm feeling the wind pushing me a little bit. Looks like something happened here. I don't know if somebody bashed into this thing so they had to repair it or what, but something funny there. Look how faded out, blasted out this brick is. Again, it's almost yellow or peachy colored. Let's get around the back here. Yeah, see? Look, there's a buried arched window there, shooting right down into the ground there. A couple of arched doorways here. Big arched window that they've boxed in or filled in. Huge arched windows in the back of this thing, and then they've just bored them all in or reframed them all in and made them into these smaller rectangular windows. Looks to me like there used to be windows above these doors too, the arch there, or maybe a transom window or something, and perhaps they've blocked those in too for whatever reason. Still getting a hang of the zoom here on the new camera. They've cinder blocked in that window there. And then they've squared off those from the building next to it as well. Oh, there. Jeez, I didn't even see that right away. There's another one right there. Two of them. J-pipes coming out of this one, and then there's another one right there. So I wonder how big those windows were and how far those shoot right down into the ground there. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. What are you going to try to tell me about that? It's crazy. Looks like there was something going on here that they yanked out of there, too. Maybe the old access, and then they've put in a more modern fire escape. I don't know. But yeah, very interesting. Always find lots of secrets off the back alley or the back lane, that's for sure. All right, we'll move on to the next one here. All right, just down about another block or so here. Got this really interesting looking place here. Again, brick, sandstone. It's almost becoming what's the word I'm looking for? Like a stereotype or something now, or you know that it's Calgary. Oh yeah, it's gonna have brick and sandstone all over the place. But a really interesting roof on that thing, almost like a mansard style roof in there. You can see all that sort of tin metal work underneath there, that architectural detailing. Again, that sort of dog tooth or sawtooth. And sandstone under the windows. Beautiful old brick.
This thin little alleyway or whatever with the iron gate is half of Boston looks like that.
Yeah. Well, they've got their fire escapes in there too, I see. But yeah, they put the gate in there so they don't want ne'er-do-wells camping out overnight in there, or people going pee-pee or poo-poo in there, you know. And then this place used to be Swans or Black Swan pub. It's now called the Dirty Duck. Okay, but it's a beautiful building. You can see some of that sandstone detail there as well. Just beautiful. And just really fancy brickwork, you know, not super large buildings and not extremely embellished with statues or gargoyles or grotesques, but just a lot of really, really nice sort of staggered or coining or stacked brickwork along a lot of them. Yeah.
Got a plaque over there, I think.
Yeah, that one has a plaque on it, and I think I can get in behind these ones too, actually. So I'm gonna risk life and limb and run across here and get in behind and have a looky-loo at both of these. And probably this old rundown place there too. So yeah, let me run across and get in behind it, but I'm gonna grab that plaque as well and have a look.
I've never seen that before.
So this is the Carson Block, that one that had the pub, the Dirty Duck pub or whatever. 1912 it says, eh? Okay, there you go. Shot of that for you. All right, let's might as well have a look in here. You can see some remnants of an old sign in here, and Cousin Vinny brought up a good point that if these were old world pre-cataclysm, pre-reset buildings, then they wouldn't have necessarily bothered painting a sign here unless this building never used to be here. Then why paint that sign, right? But we know that they used to just paint these signs after the fact anyway, so I mean, just because it doesn't make sense doesn't mean that they didn't necessarily do it anyway. I don't know. It's not really much to see in there. It's just kind of junk. But we can get around to the back of this thing here. This one doesn't have a plaque on it, unfortunately. Let's see what we can see here. Yeah, see, this brick has been sandblasted and kind of treated and saved on a little bit too. Looks like these might have actually even be the original door openings, and they've just added more modern doors, but it doesn't look like it was really had the hell bashed out of it to get these in here. So got the arch above that door, arched windows up here. Not a lot of sandstone on the side here though. Those window sills are brick. I think this is a residential up top and business on the main floor of this building. Oh, what do we have here? Oh yeah, they got a door that way down in there. So that's how you get into the basement of this place apparently, is you got to come in through here risking life and limb. That's fun. I was thinking maybe I would just find another half-buried Mudflood window back here, but no, it's way better. Another arched doorway here. And let's see if I can get around in behind that one real quick while I'm at it. So again, 1875 is when this neighborhood first started to sort of pop up as a result of the fort and the railroad. And by 1911 it was annexed by the city. I get some entrances here with some brickwork above them. Sorry about the glare. Just get over here because I'm noticing that there's an arched window, I'm guessing there, that's been bricked in. Maybe it was a door. It goes pretty far down. Windows here are arched as well on the back of this thing. Here's another that goes down as well into the basement of this thing. That's crazy. There's a door down there and a window opening down there. Crazy. Fire escape, stairs, access to the top there. Pretty interesting. I wonder what's going on under there, I wonder. Yeah, really neat. Alright, gonna keep on keeping on here, moving along down the road. A few more to look at here on this side, as well as a couple of other interesting buildings on the side streets. Then we're gonna cross and come back going the other way so you can see the other side of the street. And we'll pick up on a couple of other tasty little bits as well. Alright, so we just moved further down 9th Avenue. And we're basically on the corner of, what is this, 9th Avenue and I think 13th Street, Southwest. This is the Ble Hall, is the name of this building. It's actually all one building. But there's a grocery store, ice cream shop and everything here. And this is like some Elysian alchemy. I don't know, some hippy dippy crystals and dream catchers thing or something here. I don't know. You can see it's a nice old brick that they've painted over a bazillion times, and then they had old signage here on plywood that it's all buggered up. But Ble Hall 1923 is the date there that you can barely read because they slapped this ugly awning on the building. And then they painted this half blue. So sure. Just come around to the front side here so you can see the entrance there, the old arched doorway that they blocked in. Still has the transom window there though. Got to go up a step to get into it, and all the brick, it's all painted blue. It's all covered in plywood and schmutz. So it's not in the best of shape, but you can get around the back of this thing. Oh yeah, this whole thing's just a hodgepodge. Just a hodgepodge of everything going on here. Chicken wire with schmutz over it. There used to be a window there. There used to be a window there. Oh wow. I think this is actually an old wood frame building that the walls were brick, and then they've put plywood or chicken wire and then just scratch coated schmutz on it and painted it bright blue and said, all right, there you go, she's all renovated. You can see some of the old wood siding sticking out of that opening there.
It's like a big dinosaur exhibit up there.
Yeah, like they sprayed on some kind of weatherproofing up
They
there.
had some left over from the zoo or whatever.
You can see here, this side of this building too is just all beat to hell. Yeah, it's amazing what you see when you just sneak into the back alleys and the side alleys and the lanes. Anyway, I'm going to keep it rolling because we're looking at this thing next. I think this is an old Presbyterian Church, if I'm not mistaken. Beautiful, massive brick church with some sandstone details on it. Sandstone, excuse me. Nice little cupola up there with some tech on top. But it's got a spire on this thing that's, well, it's quite glorious. There we go. Will you look at that? Just look at it. Magnificent. Beautiful stained glass windows here. Of course, I'll run across and we'll have a closer look, but I want to give you a nice wide shot of it. Not really sure why there's a whole schwack of really low mudflood windows that look to me like they're shooting down into the ground there, but hey, other than that, what a beauty. All right, let me actually let me just move further down. Get a little bit more footage from this side first. Yeah, this thing is just outstanding. Looks like they're doing some repairs on the roof too, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's tall. It's one of the tallest spires on a church that's basically still standing. There's that one downtown on, was it 4th Street off of 11th Avenue Southwest? That old church. I can't remember what denomination it is now, but that has a big, really high, really impressive spire on it too.
Something tells me that's not original, like it wasn't open. I'll bet if you could find an old archival photo, it'd be
Yeah,
it'd be different than that.
think
especially
this
that
is.
open white part.
I think this is the part of the original spire, but it's been opened up or something. I think because they took the bells out of it, so when they did
Right.
that, they opened it up. Not entirely sure, but let's run across and check out some of the details on this thing. There is some sandstone on it. You can see right there, a little bit of sandstone and that pyramidal or triangular shape there, just on the top of this brick that's sticking out here. Oof, getting some wicked glare there. It's wicked glare. Sorry about that. There's your stained glass windows. Beautiful. Still got the old wooden frames in them. Again, this church still a functioning church, service every Sunday. So, well looked after. I think there's a daycare in here and a community center and something like that as well, maybe.
I have change and he'll make you do that.
Got something crazy going on there with that vent. Couple of steps to get up in there, and then underneath what looks like cinder block is actually there's red brick under there. So that's interesting.
They didn't even bother to make the vertical fake.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's right. Usually, they didn't do the vertical seams on the fake cinder blocks or the fake stone foundation. They just did the horizontal lines, and then said, "Oops." Lots of additions, lots of different levels on it. These here are sandstone. It's been painted and treated. Shack at the back to get downstairs, maybe? Probably. Shenanigans there. This, at least, it still has windows in it. All kinds of weird stuff going on. But yeah, that's definitely... Yep, definitely sandstone there. And unfortunately, there's only so much a guy can do, right? Well, this gate's open, so that's basically an invitation to come on in. And, yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure. Some repair work there, maybe, perhaps. No, there was something here. There was something here that they've bricked in. The brick is a little different, and the sandstone has been either removed or chiseled or carved back a bit. So it's hard to tell what's going on, but there was something here before. In fact, that's got a patch under it too. I wonder if these windows were bigger at one point, and there was a window here too, maybe. There's some patchwork there too. I don't know if these are repairs from cracks from the building settling, or if they've added or removed windows or doors. I don't know, but it looks like there's a hodgepodge of patchwork on this thing. But anyway, moving on. Lots more to see. Yeah, we're still trying to figure out the hodgepodge jigsaw puzzle that's this church. Speaking of puzzles, there's nice herringbone work there with the brick up there above that window. But yeah, there may have been this extension or rear portion of the church may have been an addition, because the lower portion around the back here where it's damaged is concrete with aggregate in it, I can see. But then here it's brick. So that leads me to think that maybe from sort of this line back was a later addition to this church. I don't know. It's really, really tough to tell. Anyway, I'm going to go around to the front here as well and give you a shot of that. All right, here we are at the front side of this thing. This is the north-facing side of this church. Another shot of that spire up there. Beautiful, huge entranceway there. The carved wooden door. And another one there. And again, stained leaded glass all over this thing. It's actually got quite a bit of leaded glass on it. All right, there you go. All right, look at this beauty here. I am on 14th Avenue and just off of 12th Street, southeast, I believe. No. I'm not sure. 14th Avenue anyway, southeast. Now it's been painted, and I can see there, not sure if you can make that out, but there's a couple of arched windows that have been bricked in and then the brick painted over. There's two there. That one's left where it was, and I'm assuming there was another one up there too, maybe. It's a gorgeous place. Arched windows up there. Arched door. Main floor at this veranda. Those windows are arched as well. You can't really see them, but they are. The door has a new entrance, so I don't see an arch in that anymore, but oh, it's on a corner lot, so we can maybe whip around the side here too, maybe. Oh, there's a huge hedge here. Okay. Well, let's see what we can see. Yeah, there's another bricked in arch window there. And there, yeah, so just like on the other side. And then they left these two. Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. Hello. I see you in there. I see you shooting right down into the ground there. Little arched window there. Another one here. You can't see it. There it is. There. And then they built an addition onto the back here so they could have a sort of a terrace up top there. Yeah, really nice place. All right, I think we're going to head back towards 9th Avenue now to the main road and grab the other side of the street and a couple of extra little goodies. So hang tough, back in a second. All right, so just on the other side of 9th Avenue here now, and just checking out this series of old world apartments, I guess. I mean, they're apartments now, or townhouses. It's kind of, the zoning on it is kind of all over the place. Some of the places in there are businesses and some of them are residences. But you can see arched windows above and on the main floors abound. The doorways are all arched too, but they've since been sort of squared off. Not really any sandstone to speak of, but really nice work with the arches and the brick on that thing. And they do have some low windows. There's a lady mowing her lawn there, so she's making a racket. So I'm going to go to this end here, check it out. Just zip across the street here. See some really low windows down here too. She's following me with the damn lawnmower. Right there. Got these glass block low windows just shooting down into the ground there. Yeah, those glass block low windows, real attractive, right? Redneck skylights. Nope, they're terrible. And again, this the phony foundation covered in schmutz. You can tell because it's not even level. It kind of has some waves and wows to it as it moves along here. See if we can have a look. See at the back side of this thing. Yeah, okay. They didn't glass block those in. They just left them as crappy sliding windows. Really low though. Those have been there forever too. They're wood framed, those windows. All the windows back here are arched. 3 beautiful brick chimneys there as well. And you got to go up to get in, whether it's the front or the back of the building. You can't just walk in. You got to go up, 5 steps. Pretty nice though. You get some nice big beautiful trees back here, shaded area in the parking lot. Again, it's pretty quiet. You get a little front porch and a little back deck. So yeah, not too bad. Beautiful looking little place, I'm very familiar with this place, by the way. This is a block from my old house, which we're going to take a walk past here momentarily. But I just want to grab this north-facing side here, just off the alley. This is the west side, the back end, and east was the front. Yeah, see, more peekaboo there, but nothing along here at all. No windows. I'm not even seeing any ghosting of any windows. Just the schmutz there. And I'm not even sure what this building originally was. I don't know if it was always set up as apartments or what, but beautiful place. Anyway, I'm gonna mosey around the corner here onto 10th Avenue Southeast, and I'll take you to my old house. All right, so this is my old house. This is the house I used to rent the main floor of this house, which is a 1-bedroom. What used to be the original, originally I think this, I was told it was built in 1910. So it didn't have a basement, but it did have a crawl space underneath the main portion of the house. There is an addition built onto the back, which is a studio apartment or a bachelor's apartment. But underneath the main body of the house is a sort of a crawl space. Sort of just dug away dirt walls. They poured some pea gravel down in there and put some paving stones down in there, and that's where the hot water tank and the natural gas furnace and all the venting and duct work was put in after they retrofitted this house. So yeah, it's pretty well looked after. You know, modest little place, but it was a nice little place. Loved living on the street, beautiful tree-lined street with that church over there and the convent there at the end. And just some nice sort of Georgian, Victorian, and Edwardian era homes all in through here. So yeah, really, really nice. Anyway, got quite a bit more to look at, so we're going to keep on keeping on. All right, and we are back. Another glorious old church here. I am on the corner of 13th Street and 10th Avenue Southeast. Hey, that's my favorite song. Nope, not at all. It's garbage. Turn that off. The Lantern Community Center, the old church. I think it's still a church. I think this pulls triple duty like the other church we looked at. It's a community center, a church, and a daycare facility as well. We're going to look at this as well, which is an apartment, but used to be an old convent. But let's run across the street and have a look-see at this thing first. Before I do that, let me just get you in here. You can see the very castle-like structure on this thing. Got some sandstone detail there as well around the windows. And this has a lot of stained glass too, if memory serves. So while it's safe to do, let me cross. I'm gonna get some glare from the sun, so I apologize in advance. That guy's still listening to that crappy song. So I'm not really sure why there's a ground floor entrance there, but then all of these two main entrances, you gotta go up 11.4 million stairs to get in her. Not really sure why. It's got a doodad on it. It's a historical landmark. Here's a nice shot of the stained glass, leaded glass there. And then the cymatic glass window up there as well. Some low windows here in the front. This reminds me of the Hillhurst Church there in Kensington that I filmed, not last summer, but the summer before, where the whole church was just way too high. You can see that the threshold stone under this door here, the main threshold, is sandstone. It started to erode so badly that they've put some concrete there and try to slow that down too. Nope, not working. Let's see what else we can see here on the side there. This would have been the Padres joint, I guess. You can see there's some brick there, what's supposed to be the foundation, but right down in here there's brick there. See that? So is this just made to look like blocks but it's brick underneath. That's my assumption. Of course, I'm speculating on that. I got an old door here that's no longer in use. Large angry dog. That's weird. What is going on with this place? All kinds of hanky levels of doors and this is weird, but this is what we're looking for. Wow. Will you look at that? Look at that, will you? Big arched Mudflood window that's all blocked in. Now that for sure is cinder block. Massive J-pipe coming out of the bottom of this thing. Let's see what's on the back alley here. Yeah, they tried with that sandstone, but to no avail. That dog is really pissed off at me. Now what are you gonna do? You know? Something funny going on here too. Hey, a Phillies hat. Nope, that's staying right where it is. What's that?
1906 to 1912.
I was looking for the date. Okay, the Trinity Methodist. I'm trying to avoid the glare for you. Sorry about that. Trinity Methodist Church, 1906 to 1912. I guess that's the 6-year build on it, I'm guessing. I don't know. There it is.
October 28th. Is that the 1906?
Yeah, I know. October 28th, 1906, 1912. What? So this place is, well, it's in rough shape. I can see that it does have a concrete foundation. You can tell because it's getting the hell beat out of it here, and you can see all the concrete and aggregate coming out of it. So, yeah, this thing's pretty rough. The dog is really, really mad at me. Dogs, I don't know, I love dogs, but they don't like me. It's not true. Dogs love me, so I don't get it. Sounds like a couple of those little tiny yappy lap dogs, you know. Anyway, let me just pull back and give you a nice shot of this thing here. So it's owned by Main Street Property Management, so it's rental units now. Tiny little windows up there. That's strange. Probably an attic space up there, maybe. Not too sure. It's quite a nice building. I'm not seeing a plaque on it anywhere, though. It's got quite a nice grand entrance. Concrete and red brick. Sure, okay, why not? Some pretty low windows down in here, too. This is the west-facing side of the building here, the back side of it. Not quite as much damage, but that's because there's no sidewalk right up against the windows like there were on the east-facing side. Oh, look at this. Okay, I didn't even notice that. So this is all crumbled away here. Whatever that is. And then there's brick or sandstone or terracotta. I don't even know what that is. Put it down in the comments if you know what, or if you think you know what this might be. Looks like a terracotta tile or something, and then some brick in there. So that's odd, because it kind of looks like a concrete foundation. So, but then there's brick and tile, terracotta or something. I don't know, I'm confused. Because here you can clearly see concrete here. Then they've got the downspout from their eaves trough going down into a hole in the ground. probably going right to the storm drain system in the streets. Yeah, I don't know. These are what the hell beat out of them. I mean, snow and people shoveling and putting salt down on the ice would just chip away at some of this, I guess. Oh yeah, this was like my old building too when I lived in the Moxon. There was the Moxon and the Congress, those two buildings next to each other.
Another one.
Jeez, dogs are scaring the hell out of me here. So there's a door and a window down here below ground level. You gotta go down to get in the main floor, or I guess semi-basement, sub-basement. Same thing in the front. And this is one big arch, but then they put in a door and a window. So that's weird. Anyway, yeah, very interesting, this place. Old convent, now apartment building. All right, so just to the back of this big brick, used to be a warehouse, I believe, or an old office building, and it is converted to apartments now. And unfortunately, since I lived here, they've paved this parking lot. It used to be a gravel parking lot, and it was a lot easier to see that brick that would, shoot down into the ground here. Unfortunately, not the case anymore. Although they did leave this big, huge hunk of tree here, which is nice. You can see all the doors had like transom windows above them. Most of them have been all boarded in now. Big, huge windows here on the main floor. And there's businesses on the main floor and then apartments up above. You can see here where they've just paved this right up to the old brick. And they've even paved over the opening, the door flap for the old coal chute there. So even if you wanted to try to open that, you can't. It's paved right up to it now. And there it gives you an idea of these big tall doors with the transom windows above them. Really neat. So that backside off of the alley was the south-facing side. This is the west side of the building now. And you can see that nice line of sandstone there and then there as well. They've done some work to this building. They've done a little bit of fancifying there with some applied stonework. This used to just be the brick underneath here as well. But this is called the Gresham Block. I'll run across the street and give you a wide shot here in a second. So there's suites, and that's how you get into the suites here, and then the businesses have separate entrances here off the main floor. And again, you can see the sandstone up there and all the way up. There's the Gresham Block. So, I mean, that sandstone is starting to wear away, unfortunately, and again, I've said it before, it's just the nature of the beast with that softer stone. I guess in hindsight, not the best building material. Let's see if I can see any shenanigans here. Anything blocked in, any ghosting or anything, there's something boarded up over there. There's a weird pipe coming out of the side of the wall there. Okay, read what that used to say. Anyway, let me run across the street, get a wide shot of it, and then we're going to keep heading back now the other direction back. We've basically gone as far east as the interesting stuff will take us here on 9th Avenue Southeast. So we're going to start heading back westward toward downtown, where I can film now this side of the street and give you an idea of what's happening there. So give me a second, let me just risk my life as I run across here, and I'll be right back. All right, there we go. Nice wide shot of the Gresham Block, remaining tech or remaining flagpole or something up there. All right, so here we are, the Fraser and Seabloom Block. Beautiful 4-story brick and sandstone building. That upper floor with the beautiful big arched windows. Got some fancy stuff going on there, and behind this bush over here, the tree there, we'll see. The wind's picked up a bit, and the sun is kind of right over there, so I don't want to get too much glare. Yeah, it's super windy, man. Super windy. That's a beautiful old building, though. Nice shape. The only thing that's really worn away on it is some of that sandstone. But, I mean, you know, a lot of that other detail is just beautiful on there. It's sort of like carved capitals almost. Really nice looking.
Oh, blasted away that second, there's a sandstone detail.
Oh,
near the
yeah.
top.
Yeah, right.
The second column, it's like...
Yeah, it's all worn away. That's that second from the left, yeah. Really nice old place, though. All right, got a few more to look at, and then we're going to wind it up for the day. So I'll be right back. That's a close-up of the Fraser Block. Got a couple of scrubbed cartouches there, and over on the other side there. But we've got like a nice stamped tin ceiling here in this main entranceway, which is really nice. We've got like 3 entrances here, businesses on each side, and then this goes up into the residential portion upstairs. Got these little windows that allow light in down into the basement, so that's pretty cool as well. So yeah, the Fraser and Seabloom Block. Very cool old building. Oh, it's got a plaque on it, or it's got a medallion on it anyways. Registered historic building. There you go. All right, gonna keeping on. All right, the next one up here is the old AGT, Alberta Government Telephone Buildings. It's not called AGT anymore. It's like TELUS now. It's privatized, but it used to be provincial government was the sort of controlled the telephones, right? It was an essential service run by the provincial government. Now it's been privatized, so all of these have been repurposed. This is like an old coffee shop or something now, or I don't know. You can see it's Alberta registered historic resource. I'm trying to avoid the glare. It's still super hot and sunny out here today.
There's window wells down there.
Yeah. Yeah, Cousin Vinny's just mentioned the window wells down there. Now, we've looked at a building like this before on the channel in the past. There's one that's close to where I live, close to sort of in the Beltline, Sunalta area. That's, I want to say it's about 15th Avenue and, I don't know, 10th Street, 12th Street, something like that. I can't remember. Very similar to this. This one's a little bit larger, though. So this would have been the main telephone building, like the switchboard, you know, where your operator pulls and plugs in the switches and so on. That's what this would have been for this whole community of Inglewood. Inglewood and probably Ramsey, too. This whole East Calgary. At one point, Inglewood was known as East Calgary. It was also known as Brewery Flats, because there's a huge brewery here, which we're not going to get a chance to get to today, but I will come back to film that old brewery. But yeah, you got some old, really low windows here that are shooting right down into the ground here, I think, for the most part. So much so they've had to put window well, wooden window wells, so that's highly effective for keeping moisture out. Nope, not at all. But nice coining here with the stacking of the brick on the corners of the building. This beautiful detail all along here. Nice job for a tiny little building like this, you know. Get around to the other side of this thing here. course, you got to go up 6 steps to get in for some reason.
Yeah, but I've seen such heartwarming speeches. Like, just go online and look.
And then, yeah, more of the same on this side. Really low windows there. Bunch of mud-flooded windows. They don't go down that deep, but they go down about 3 or 4 inches below the ground level there. So it's just that's a pain. It's a headache. It's a nightmare. It's a pain right in a fella's keister. I mean, you wouldn't build like that. Huge chimney on this thing, and it's got a really nice metallic roof on the thing as well. All right, so back on the High Street, main drag here through Inglewood, 9th Avenue Southeast, just off the intersection of 9th Avenue and 12th Street Southeast. We're in front of the old Gary Theatre. Now this thing started off as a vaudeville theater. And then they put in a movie screen and they showed silent films. And then in the 20s, they switched to talkies. And now it's actually a live music venue. Blues, folk music, country music, alternative rock, acoustic, all that good there. Got there good stuff. Next to it is the All Block. A-U-L-L, all, not all, all Block. 1908 apparently. Just a little guy, but man, I love the detail on it. Again with that sawtooth or dog's tooth, and then those little sort of ether, or I don't know what those are. Those urn-shaped thingies. Really nice. And then the one next to it, I'm just standing in one spot because the sun is like right here, shining right in the camera light. So I'm standing in the shade of this lamppost and street sign here. That one next to it's the Fraser Block, supposedly 1911. And that's a nice big bugger. You can see down the side there, it's got some arched windows. Then on the front, rectangular windows, but really big. And it looks like concrete, those big, wide swaths, big slabs there. That's concrete, but then underneath there, that's sandstone. So they used a combination of the two there for this one. Inglewood pizza down there. Not half bad pizza, by the way. Next to that is the C Block. C Block? I think so. I'm going to get a little closer to it if I can. C Blom? B-L-O-M. C Blom. I don't even know what that is. It looks very similar to the All Block in terms of the architectural details along the top, different windows and so on to it. But I'll get a little closer to it. We'll have a look at it. Then we'll look at a couple more big ones, and then I'm actually going to get in behind. There's basically a whole row of like 4 or 5 of these, and I'm going to get in the alley behind them and have a look as well. Let's finish looking at the frontages here first and down there as well. All right, so a little bit of a closer look at the C Blom Block. Cute little building. Actually, I really like the sandstone accents above the windows on there. And again, it's got that sort of, those sort of architectural doodads along the top there. Urn-shaped, or I don't know what. No, those ones aren't really urn-shaped. The other ones over here are. These ones kind of a 3-dimensional fleur-de-lis, maybe, or I don't know. All right, so here we are in the next in the future here, the Burn Block. This one's a big beauty. 1912 supposedly. Gorgeous, big, huge arched entranceway in the doorway there. But yeah, beautiful big windows in it. Gorgeous 2-tone brick on this thing. Again, that sort of peachy or faded brick, and then the dark red brick. This thing was at one point covered in the front in scaffolding. It's been renovated just beautifully. But I think only the front. I think the back, when we run around to the back to have a look, we'll still have some telltale signs. I'm pretty sure one of these in this row has a shack at the back to get, you know, where you would access the lower floor, the basement, if you will, of the building. Gonna run across and get a shot of a little bit of the building from right in front of it close, and then I'm gonna go around the back side in the alley and see what I can see here. Alright, so there's the plaque for the burn block. 1912. This would have been the tallest building in all of Inglewood when this thing was built. Just pause that there, or hold it there if you want to pause it and read the propaganda. Here's a shot of the sort of the entrance to the building. So the beautiful mosaic tile here by the entranceway, and it carries its mosaic tile carries all the way through. Then when you go in, you just go in and up. I don't know how you get down. I think around the back on the outside of the building, like I said, but there's no way to go in and go down. You just go in and you go up and then up and up and up, and that's it. The businesses, you can walk right in off the street level, like this. But to get into the residential portion, in and right away up some stairs. But really nice, beautiful old place. All right, let's run around the back and see what that reveals to us. So hang tough, back in a sec. All right, so here we are around the back of the burn block. Sorry for hollering at you, the wind has picked up again. Not actually hollering at you, just hollering to you. The hoist up there, the old hoist. Anyway, let's keep moving along here. Get behind that big one there and see what we can see. Yeah, see, there's the shack. There's the shack in the back. So you can get down into the basement of this thing. Right there. And they got 2 J-pipes coming out of it. So to get down into the basement of this building, you actually have to come out of the building, in that door, and down the stairs to get back into a door that they've punched down in the lower level of this thing. So there you go. Shack in the back. I knew one of these had a shack in the back. I thought I remembered that. There it is.
Same building. Is that inset part? See a few layers of brick in there.
Yeah, I can't even remember what building this is from the front. That one there is a new building,
Yeah.
but this is an old building. It's got a very impressive steel door on the back of this thing. Wow. And then, yeah, quite a few, you're right, Vinny, quite a few layers of brick in here. You got one layer here, then at least one more here. But I would hazard that this is so thick that there's probably at least 2 more. You probably have four layers of brick in there. Yeah, that goes in there quite a bit too. Oh, you know what this is? This is the back of the Gary Theatre.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, this is the back of the old Gary. By the way, if you want 4,000 square feet of basement to rent, there you go. Just call this number here in Calgary, I guess. You walk in this door, and I don't know if you can see. Probably not. Oh yeah, there you go. It's just, you walk in the door, you got about 4 feet, and then boom, stairs straight down into the basement. 4,000 square feet. Maybe a guy should call that number and check it out and see what's what. All right, so I got some gifts here. Got some New West Reset t-shirts to give away for everybody here for the meetup. So Vinny, there's large for you.
Woohoo.
Size large for cousin Vinny. Here's a medium, Rachel, a size medium. I'm wearing one right now. So yeah, there you go. That's going to seal the deal here. Once again for Frankie, New West Reset, and the 1,500 subscriber meetup and Mudflood walkabout tour of beautiful old Inglewood. Supposedly started around 1875, annexed by Calgary in 1911, and the rest, as they say, is history. So as per usual, let me know what you think down below, and of course do all the other stuff. And until the next one, take care out there and have yourselves a good one. All right, everybody. Cheers. Oh, hello, lady.